Maxwell Ado, MEEELDP. He is the lead consultant for Unique Consulting. Yes, you may be looking at that spelling, but don't worry, I've deciphered it for you. Unique Consulting is his business, and he is a strategic intelligence and research professional. Maxwell is a results-driven researcher and analyst with a strong track record in data intelligence, policy analysis, and African development research. Oh my gosh, he is wearing many hats. He has led multi-sector research initiatives, built AI-powered knowledge systems, and delivered actionable insights for decision makers across government, business, and civil society. Known for combining analytical rigor with practical solutions, Maxwell has successfully launched digital research platforms and shaped evidence-based strategies. His work bridges technology, economics, and governance to drive informed action across Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the man of the moment, Maxwell. So let me see some welcome emojis in the chat room. Maxwell, I'm going to stop sharing and you can take over the screen. And remember, by the time you see my face again, it's going to be a round up, Maxwell.
Remember, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Farah Williams, for that great introduction. Thank you so much. It's good to be here. I also want to say a big thank you to the LDNI community. It's a privilege I don't take for granted. Just want to check to be sure that my sound is good. Please, if you can hear me clearly, just indicate with an emoji, or you can just type 1 in the comment section. Okay, great. All right, I have about 44 minutes now to do this. Thank you very much, Adaogo. Thank you, Lufunto, for your feedback. Thank you. I see emojis, Oluremi, Ike. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have 44 minutes to do this. I'm just going to share my screen. So I'm also going to ask you to please confirm if you can see my screen right about now. If you can see my screen, please let me know. You can see my screen, please let me know. Awesome. Okay, so my name is Maxwell, and yes, I love working with tech. It's fun for me, solving problems, complex problems with tech. And I'll be sharing a few things today centered around how you can stay relevant in the next 5 years. It's critical because a lot has changed and a lot is changing, right? My sessions are highly interactive. So at some point in time, I am going to be asking for feedback, and just feel free to use the chat room, okay? So some things we'll be looking at today is looking at the evolution from generative AI to AI assistants, and then agentic AI. Now, don't worry about all those words if you don't understand some of them or any of them. I'll explain all of them, right? And then we'll compare the capabilities, and then we'll look at a practical use case, and then we'll round up with some things you need to do to stay relevant, right? And I'm going to start with a story. Before I tell my story, please, in the comment section, everybody here uses AI, right? I'm very sure. I'm so sure about that because I'm sure we have experts here, and AI is no longer a new thing. So I need you to do me a favor, okay? So in the chat room, please type 1 or 2 of the AI tools you use frequently. Just type in the chat room 1 or 2 of the AI tools you use. Any of the AI tools you use, just type in the comment section. I'm looking forward to your feedback. I just need like 5 responses. I want to Claude, thank you. Tokoni says Claude, thank you. Origi says Claude, ChatGPT. Sheson says ChatGPT. Fantastic. EK says ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Aminat, thank you. Muturayo, thank you. Fantastic. Thank you. Awesome people. Now, let me pause here and please grab a pen and a paper because you're going to be hearing a couple of new things you may not have heard before, right? So just grab a pen and paper as we go on with this session. Now, there's a big mistake a lot of people make when it comes to using AI tools, right? And the mistake they use is for almost everything, they go to ChatGPT, right? For almost everything, they go to ChatGPT, right? And when you think of AI, the first thing that comes to your mind is ChatGPT. Now, let me say something here, and I always say this wherever I go to speak or train on AI. These models or these tools are designed for specific purposes. I'll give you an example. So, when you want to cut through bread, right? Bread, you want to cut through bread. Which is most appropriate to use? Is it a butcher knife or a bread knife? Please comment section. You want to cut through bread. You want to slice through bread, right? Which is the most appropriate thing to use? Is it a butcher knife or the bread knife? Thank you, bread knife, bread knife. Oh, fantastic. So if you use ChatGPT for everything in terms of generating pictures, videos, it's like that person who is trying to use the butcher knife to cut bread at the same time chop meat, right? Somebody says depending on the size of bread, right? I like that. Okay, so first thing you need to take away from here is this, right? Various tools are designed for various purposes. So the next time you want to execute a task, it's okay to ask ChatGPT, which we are all conversant with, I want to do this. Give me 5 tools I can use to do this. And then you make a choice from them. Give me 5 tools. Don't ask for 1, don't ask for 2, ask for 5. Does that make sense to anybody? If it makes sense, let me get an emoji. Ask for 5 tools, not just 1, so that you are using the right tools for the right purpose. Okay? That's the first lesson. Now let's keep that aside. The next thing I want you to learn quickly is this. For those of you who use more than one tool, do you know that? And hold on, I'm here to dive into my session. Do you know that when you use ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok at the same time, ChatGPT, Grok, and Claude at the same time, if you ask them the same question, do you think they're going to give you the same response? Yes or no? Comment section. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Comment section. If you ask them the same question, do you think they'll give you the same response? No. Origi, thank you. Not exactly. Adalgo, thank you. No. So, that leads me to the next question. When you are trying to inquire about something, which is better? Use just one tool or use about 3 tools to get more opinions? Is it better to use one tool or about 3 tools? Fantastic.
Sorry, can you still hear Maxwell? Can you still hear him?
No,
No,
no, I
from here,
can't.
I
We lost him.
can't
We've
hear
lost
him.
him.
Okay. So
No, we
Maxwell,
lost
can
him.
we lose
He
your
lost us, not we losing him.
Okay, we'll get to Maxwell. No worries. Maybe he might have to stop using his video so that he can conserve bandwidth. Okay, so while we await Maxwell's return, can you drop the number one lesson you've learned in the meeting group chat? LDNI admin, please assist me in contacting Maxwell. I'm sure he's struggling to get back to.
I'm
Okay,
back. I'm back.
Maxwell is
Yeah,
back.
I'm back.
Great.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Sorry about that internet trouble. Thank you. So now we've learned a few things. So sorry about that. Now we've learned a few things. Number one, we have learned that it's best to use more than one tool when you're trying to do some general inquiry. And then number two, we have learned to use the right tool for the right job. Thank you so much. I saw this feedback from someone. Victor Diali, thank you. Use the right tool for the right job. Okay? Now, another thing I want to quickly talk about before I proceed is this. I'm going to show you some pictures real quick, and I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to show you some pictures, and I'm going to ask you a question. Now, for most of us, I'm going to show you a car. I'm going to show you the picture of a car. Okay, so who can see the picture of this car right now on my screen? Who can see the picture of this car? This one right here to my right. Okay, can anybody identify this car? What car is it? What car is this? Benz, fantastic. Benz, what kind of what make of Benz? It was raining so many years ago, right? 504, are you sure? Are you sure it's a Benz? Benz 200. V-boot. Thank you. That was what I was looking for. It's a V-boot, right? It's a V-boot. This is a V-boot, right? This ash one here. Now I'm going to show you another brand, V-boot. Then I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to ask a question. Now, this is also a Benz. Am I right? Okay, if you can still, this is also a Benz. This is also a Benz. Now, what make of Benz is this? What brand? What Benz? What Benz is this? Is this a V-boot? G-Wagon. Wow. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Great, 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 great. Now, next question. Which would you prefer to drive? The V-boots or the G-Wagon? The V-boots or the G-Wagon? The G-Wagon, of course. The G-Wagon, of course. Why? It's more comfortable. It can do times and seasons. It can do a lot, much more than the V-boot was compared to the V-boot. Now, what am I trying to say? When you are using AI tools, right, some of them come with what we call models. Models. Now, let me quickly explain this so that you understand how these things work and you know how to work around them. Models. Now, I am presently on Claude, right? I want to explain the concept of models. Now, I'm going to click on something. I'm going to click on something. Now, if you can see my screen, let me get an emoji or just type 1 in the comment section. If you can see my screen, let me just type one in the comment section. Good. Now, there are some models you can see on my screen. You can see Fable 5, Opus 4.8, Haiku 4.5, Opus 4.7, Opus 4.6, Opus 3, Sonnet 4.6. These are all models, right, that come with Claude. Now, some of them are like V-Boot. Some of them are like the G-Wagon. What does that mean? They do various things. Now, I'm very sure most of us, when we get to this place and we want to make an inquiry, we just type. Am I right? We just type and type away, at times without checking. True or false? If that happens to you, don't check the model you're using. True, yes, so yes, I like that. You just type, right? Forgetting that there are some models, like one of this one was included recently, Fable 5, right? And it's really, really powerful, right? So there are some, so you can see there's Opus 3, of course, 4.6 will come after 3, 4.7 will come after 4.6, right? So you see, they keep improving on the models. Now let me go to, now don't worry, I'm trying to lay a good foundation so that by the time I start running with my slide, it will make a lot of sense, okay? Now, fantastic. Somebody says I select models and effort range, but a lot of people don't go through these things. The last thing I want to talk about quickly before I just jump into my session. So whenever you're using some of these tools, I'll always advise try to pay for one or two of them, right? Because that's when you're able to actually experience the power of these tools, right? But then try and use recent tools. Fable 5 for Claude is one of the most recent models that just came out. Okay, now let me find out. So far in the last, I've spoken for about 15 minutes. If you have picked up something from what I've said in the last 15 minutes, can you type 5 in the comment section while I move on to the next thing? 5, 5. I'm going to show you something real quick, real quick, real quick. Fantastic. Adenike, thank you. Victor, thank you. I'm moving on to something. Now, a lot of us are afraid. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Rose. Now, we are all scared most times of putting certain information into some of these tools. By the way, it's not advisable to put personal information into public AI tools, right? When I mean some of these AI tools, particularly the free plans. Okay, now the paid plans come with some level of data protection, by the way, but then it's not advisable. Now, I want to show you something. I want to show you something. I want to show you something very interesting you would like to see, right? I want to show you, if you know how to use, let's say, ChatGPT without it training the model with your data, can you type 7? If you know how to use ChatGPT, for example, the one we all use, because by the way, in case you don't know, they use your data to train the model, right? They use your data to train the model. So if you know how to use ChatGPT without it using your data to train the model, can you type 7 in the comment section? 7. Let me see how many 7s I'm going to get. 1. Let me see how many 7s I'm going to get. 2. Fantastic. Okay. We have about 50 something people in the room. 3. Fantastic. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I have like 3 people. Fantastic, great. So let me show you for those who don't know. Right now, look at the top right corner of your screen. Can you see this thing that looks like a button here where you want to chat with somebody? Click on it. If you can see where my cursor is next to upgrade, just type there. If you can see where my cursor is, for those who don't know, my cursor is hovering around the particular part of my screen next to upgrade. If you can see where my cursor is, please just type 0 if you can see my cursor. Okay, great. Once you click on it, guess what happens? Once you click on it, guess what happens? The message here says what? Temporary chat. This chat won't appear in history or be used to train our models. Now you know. Before, you didn't know if you didn't know, right? And if you go back and uncheck it, of course, anything you put here will be used to train the model. Now, in one sentence, what are these AI tools? AI tools are computers with big brains. Computers with big brains. They have a lot of data. And anything AI rests on data. Somebody type data in the comment section. Data, data, data. They rest on data. They rest on data. It runs on data. Without data, these tools are useless. Trust me. Right? Now, let's move on real quick. So back to my session. Now, let me tell my story real quick. And I'm going to move through the story really fast. Okay? So imagine you are the head of learning and development at a company with about all right. I saw that. That's fine. Okay, so now Imagine you are the head of L&D, learning and development, at a company with about 2,000 employees. And on a Monday morning, your CEO walks in and says, hello, we're opening 3 new branches next month, and we need to onboard 500 new employees in 4 weeks. Of course, in my head, you go, oh my God, really? Now I was looking for a job, now I have a job, right? And you're wondering, how do I go about this? Now, with tools like ChatGPT, you have to do what? You have to design an onboarding program. You have to create your PowerPoint slides. You have to write facilitator guides. You have to develop assessments. By the way, please, has anybody heard about a tool called Gamma before? Gamma. If you've heard about that tool, please type 1 in the comment section. Type 1. Gamma. Fantastic. Great tool. For those who do presentations and all that, it's a nice tool. Okay. So you might want to think about it when you're doing your presentations. Okay. It's spelled Gamma, right? Just at times it can have a funny look, but once you master how to use it, it's good. So now back to this story. You have to develop assessments, you have to produce training videos, you have to schedule sessions, you have to send invitation emails, you have to track attendance, you have to monitor learner progress, and of course, generate reports for management. Now, this can be really, really overwhelming, right? Now, we're going to look at this same story at 3 different points in time. Let's go to the first point in time. The era of generative AI. When you hear generative AI, what does that mean? You are trying to generate, inquire. Give me this. I want this. Give me this, right? So now in the era of Claude, for example, generative AI, ChatGPT, generative AI, right? A lot of all these tools, generative AI. All you do is you begin to type in, okay, this is what I want to do. Give me my learning objectives, give me my training agenda, facilitator guide, or my slides, assessment questions, case studies. Something interesting happens. As soon as Claude is done, Claude, thank you very much, Victor. As soon as Claude is done, it sends you all those things, right? And quietly, it's like Claude is asking you, what next? What next? I've given you these things. What next? What next? You just started the work, but the real work really hasn't started. Why? Because you have to upload probably all the contents to an LMS. You have to create learner accounts if you are using an LMS. Of course, that's quite advisable. You have to schedule the sessions. You have to send emails. You have to monitor attendance. You have to follow up with employees and then produce management reports. Ladies and gentlemen, generative AI is like having an incredible talent writer sitting beside you. That's generative AI. Or an image designer. That's generative AI. What does it do? It creates and then it waits. And that's where a lot of people are right now. Now you might be wondering, so is there something bigger than this? Of course. Of course. You're going to find out in a few minutes, right? Now, let's look at another version of the same story, right? The era of AI assistants. The era of AI assistants. Now, a year later, things become even more interesting because at this point, you have an AI assistant. And by the way, almost everybody on the call, as far as you have a Gmail account, you have a tool that can serve as an AI assistant, but you don't use it. His name is called NotebookLM. Let me show you. NotebookLM. If you use NotebookLM and you're on the call, please type 3 in the chat room. Type 3 in the chat room. if you use NotebookLM. Type 3 in the chat room. Fantastic. If you don't use it, oh Lord, there's a lot you are yet to experience, right? I'm going to show you how to get there in a bit, right? Now, please, if you can see my screen, just type yes. If you can see my screen, just type yes. So I'm sure you can see my screen. Now, from your Gmail account, once you get your Gmail account, right? Go to the top right corner of your screen, and tap on this 9 dots here. Now, from these 9 dots, you'll see some things, some apps that most people don't even use, right? That are from Google, right? So we have Google Sheets, you have Google Calendar, you have Google Maps, you have Google News, you have Google Translate, you have Google Finance, you have Google Earth, and just scroll down to where you see Notebook. Notebook. Anybody see Notebook here? Notebook. Anybody see Notebook? Fantastic. Click on it. Once you click on Notebook, this is such a powerful tool that can serve as an assistant for you. And I'll tell you how. So, how can you use this tool effectively? Very simple. Create a notebook. Tap on create a notebook. It's going to take you to a different page. Now, please, if you have used NotebookLM before, can you type 4 NotebookLM? Anybody? NotebookLM. Type 4 in the chat room. 1 person. We are about 52 on the call. 2, 3. Fantastic. It's such an amazing tool. Right? Now, it can serve as an AI assistant for you. What do you need to do? You can upload files in form of PDF, links, and text. Once you upload text and all these things to this platform, what can you do? You can begin to ask for various information from this tool. Now, let me give you a practical way to use this. So, I mean, I love to read. I'm addicted to reading. Trust me, I read every day, right? 30 minutes of YouTube, learning something new about tech every day, And at times when I come across ebooks that are about 200 pages, 300 pages, what do? I just come here, upload it, ask it to create an audio. So I just upload the ebook. So you can see where you have art sources for those who don't use it. Once I click on art sources, what happens? I'm able to upload the ebook in form of PDF, and then it creates an audio extract, more or less like a 30-minute audio that summarizes the book. So I can listen to the book while traveling. From that same book, I can create a slide deck, I can create a video, I can create a mind map, I can generate a report, I can create flashcards, I can create a quiz, I can create infographics. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all from one place. So all you need to do, if you're going to be leveraging this kind of tool, is to upload some kind of materials that you need to get your job done. And what are some of those materials? All you need to do is get your employee handbook, competency framework, training policies, previous onboarding programs, corporate values, leadership framework, upload everything, and then ask it to design a 5-day onboarding program for you. And boom, it does that for you. Remember, you can use it to create videos, right? So after you create a program, you can ask it to create videos for you. So you can see that this is no longer just asking, but then asking based on a body of knowledge. So instead of creating a generic program, It remembers, understands the organization because of the information you put into it. It recommends learning activities. It explains your policies, puts everything together, and begins to generate various kind of content from the same thing you uploaded. Now, this makes life a lot easier. This makes life a lot easier. So if you have been struggling with trying to pull data from various sources together to have one source of truth, which you can use to generate other things, other documents, please leverage this. Please leverage this. Trust me, it's going to save you a lot of trouble. I mean, as I speak with you, I have some documents to work on, about 5-6 documents, and I'm just going to use Notebook, right? To put those documents together in 3-5 minutes, I'm done, and then I just set the document after I finish reading through. By the way, please, whenever you use AI to generate any material, it's very important to take your time and read through, because whatever you're pulling out from AI, you are responsible for it. Please note this. Very, very important, right? Very, very important. So now, NotebookLM serves as an assistant. It advises and it supports. It advises and it supports. Take note. Take note. But it doesn't really execute. It doesn't really execute because it can create user accounts and do a lot more. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have gone from generative AI, where you just ask questions, it gives you feedback, ask questions, it gives you feedback, to leveraging AI assistants, where you ask questions and then it does a lot of work for you based on the body of knowledge you have provided it, and it supports you with a lot of things, not just one thing. Now, somebody might ask me, but I can upload a couple of materials to Claude. Yes, but Claude will not give you the quality of flashcards that NotebookLM will give you. Claude will not give you the quality of audio summary that NotebookLM will give you. Now, do you remember what I said at the beginning when I was laying a foundation for this session? That you need to know the right tool to use for which task. If this is making sense to you, just type 6 in the comment section. If this is making sense to you, you're beginning to see possibilities. Oh, really? This is making sense to you. Now, before I move fully into agentic AI, in addition to having tools like GPT that are generative and notebook LMs that are more or less like AI assistants, you can also have chatbots. So the world is moving from companies just having websites to companies having smart websites. Now somebody said, but what do you mean by what's a smart website? Now, by the way, you get on the website and you want to inquire about the company and what they do, you have to start reading through various pages. Am I right? Click on this, read through, click on this, read through, click on this, read through. Now, this is critical because now to read a website, I might have to read through a website, I might have to spend like 20 minutes looking through the website. Don't worry, I know I have 11 minutes more, it's fine. I'll chop all this into the 11 minutes. Now, What is a smart website? A smart website is a website that has an AI assistant that is trained with all the information, basic information about the company. So when I get on your website, I look at your landing page, there should be an AI assistant that pops up, not the WhatsApp one that takes me to WhatsApp. No, a trained AI assistant that I can ask questions. I get on the website of a consulting company and I'm into oil and gas. I should be able to ask the assistant, oh, this is what I'm doing. Can this company help me? And immediately I get a response. But then it has to be trained. It has to be trained. So if you just have a normal website, you need to start thinking of moving your website from just being a normal website to being a smart website so that people are able to get as much information as possible from your website about your company and do business faster with you. Fantastic. I'll come to that. How do you train it? Good question. Okay, so in the area of agentic AI, same scenario. What do you do? Very simple. Now I'm going to introduce you to two tools, right? And this is where the world is going, right? This is where the world is going. Okay, and you see a lot of it very soon. Now I'm going to introduce you to two tools. The first one is called Lovable. Ladies and gentlemen, gone are the days when the only people who could build apps are your devs, right? When I say devs, I mean your front end, back end, and the rest of them, right? People are building apps, individuals, company owners, founders are building their apps these days. It won't be as what somebody who is a tech person has built, but then people are giving it that shot, right? And this is one tool that you can use to build something that would serve as an agent that you can use to build an LMS. Okay? And with that LMS, trust me, you have your content there, right? You can generate your content on your platform, by the way, and then also ask you to create questions. Now, I'm not telling you things that are not existing. I mean, I've built a couple of apps like that, right? So now let's just play around with this. So there's a tool called Lovable. It's called lovable.dev. How do you find it? Just go to google.com and Lovable, Loveable, right? Once type Lovable, you see .dev, and then you just click on it to create an account. There's a plan, there's a free plan, but there are other plans, right? I think the lowest is about $25 or $28 a month. But with that, you can build apps. I mean, I used to do a lot, right? And that is one tool you can use. There's another one called Base 44, right? So these are vibe coding tools. What is vibe coding? Trying to build apps, right, with prompts. So you build these platforms with prompts. Now, I'm not telling you what I don't do. Initially, you're not going to be an expert. You're going to learn on it on the job. But then as time goes on, you begin to learn. And trust me, at that level, you begin to play at the agentic AI level. Aside from using this kind of, so in that case, the tool is serving as an agent that is doing the job. Right? Now, I'll show you a practical example real quick. Hope I can pull this up real quick during this session. Just give me a sec. I'll try and pull this up real quick. Let me show you. Okay, so for example, this is an app, right, that is able to generate questions. All you need to do is put a topic in it. I built it myself. Right? Put a topic in it, and it generates questions, right? So irrespective of what you're doing and all that. Just put a topic. I want to show you what it looks like, right? I'm just trying to open your mind to some of these possibilities, okay, that exist. Let me use the other one. These are possibilities that exist in the tech space that you can use to do a lot of things on your own. Let me try and get this guy from here. Just hold on. So in this time and age, you need to be able to build some of these things yourself and provide some of these solutions yourself. So what am I trying to say? You can build your LMS yourself. It might just take maybe a week or two, maybe 3 weeks, but you can actually build these platforms yourself. And once you're able to build these platforms yourself, trust me. Okay, let me see if I can pull up this one. I build a lot of apps, so sorry, there are a lot of passwords and stuff in my head. But let me just show you this. I think this, I should be able to remember this. So this, for example, is another solution. It's for a researcher, for example. Okay, it's for a researcher, for example, right? And okay, good, fantastic. This is beautiful. It's for a researcher. And guess what? He told me, he said, Maxwell, I don't have time to start browsing the internet to look for information, and start trying to spool from one end and another end. So guess what? What I did was I built this app and I built some AI agents. That's agentic AI. So what do the agents do? Guess what? Every week, they go and look through the internet across various countries and spool data on security, on governance, on health, on agriculture. And what does he need to do? Very simple. At the end of the week, when he wants to pull his data, all he does is he goes to reports. So it pulls the data, generates a report, and keeps it here for him. So all he needs to do is log in, download his report, and he does whatever he wants to do with it. So he doesn't waste his time going to scan the internet, copy this data, copy that data. No, he doesn't. Right? Now, somebody asked a question, how do you train it? How do you train it? So now, by the way, all these things you see on my screen, this app you see, was built with prompts. You can see prompts to my left. These are prompts. These are prompts to my left. I hope it shows on my screen. These are prompts right here. Right? These are prompts. The same prompting you do. You see why prompt engineering is critical, right? And we'll talk about that as we're rounding up. So now, in addition to this, right? In addition to this, guess what? He can just ask questions. Let me show you the last question he asked, right? The last question says, and this was just, I want to know about insecurity in Africa in the last 20 years. Can you see data? Can you see data, people? And this is real data, like real data, right? Now, look at this. What can you say about the kidnapping in da 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 da? Can you see data, real data, right? Real data. So this is the level of agentic where you can design your system yourself. You can design your system yourself. This is where the world is going, because people are beginning to figure out prompt engineering. People are beginning to figure out how to use generative AI. So they're going to get here very soon. Going to get here very soon. So now, let's quickly round up in about 2 minutes. So generative creates new content based on prompts, right? You have your GPT, you have your Claude, you have your Gamma. AI assistant combines generative AI with memory. Remember, I just showed you an AI assistant. Now, agentic goes beyond just helping. It takes ownership. When you build your own platform, right? I don't have time. I would have shown you how it builds, like a real-time thing, okay? Now, what are some of the skills you need to be relevant in the next 5 years? AI literacy, understanding tools, definitely. Which tools do I need to use? Prompt engineering, like I mentioned. how learning experience design, workflow automation, data interpretation, AI governance, critical thinking, and lastly, understanding how to coach and facilitate. Understanding how to coach and facilitate. Um, I have just 1 more minute to go, but at this point, I want to say a big thank you for the opportunity to facilitate the session. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy talking, right? Particularly sharing knowledge, And I want to say a big thank you once again to the LDNI community and the management. This has been an amazing session. And if you got something really valuable, please feel free to express yourself in the chat room as I take your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Maxwell Ado. You need a gallon of water. You need some tea because that was mind-blowing to me. And if anybody else feels the same way, can you drop mind blown in the chat room today? We'll quickly go on to the Q&A session so that we can take as many as possible. If I remember clearly, Chidima asked the first question here, and she spoke about the documents uploaded on Notebook. If they're company materials, are they safe to upload there, like audited financial statements, okay, like staff handbook belonging to your company? Are they safe to load them there? How would you like these questions, Maxwell? Would you like to take a barrage of questions and answer a group of the bunch of them, or one by one?
I can take like 2 or 3 at a time.
All right, goody. Let me get another one. There is another question here. Can it help me edit videos to generate social media content for my videos? Okay, so these are two questions. The first one is about, uploading confidential information. And the second one is, can it be a hack to edit my videos, make them short, snappy for social media? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, let me take the first question. So now, Google NotebookLM is a free tool. I mean, once you have the Gmail account, you have access to it, right? And like I said earlier, it's important that you try not to put in confidential information into most of these free tools. So if you want to put in some data into them, what you need to do is anonymize, right? Anonymize. What does it mean? So where you have the names of people, right? You can take out the names of people and some real critical data, and just put something there, or they just take out the real data itself, so that you don't have to put in confidential information into that. Now, that is one level to that. Another one is, now you know how to leverage these tools and ensure that it doesn't train the model with your data, right? So in some cases, when you use the paid version, there's some level of data security that comes with it. The higher the subscription, the more better your data is being protected. That also helps, just in case you really have to put in some personal data into that, right? Yeah, Claude, ChatGPT. Then there's a tool called I think it's Julius.ai for those who do data analysis, right? Great tool. Great tool to use for data analysis. So if you want to put your company's data, it has to be a paid version, but then I always advise anonymize, take out the critical information, and then put something that is not real, and then just get the feedback you want. Now, if your company has grown to the level whereby they can build their own AI tool, it's quite expensive, and all that, then you can have your own server with your own company's information, and then that you can do, right? But that is very, 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 very expensive to do. So that answers the first question. The second question is editing videos. Yes. So this is the thing, right? Now, when you build apps with tools like Lovable or Base 44, what you can do is you can import models, right? You can import models. So, for example, now the research app I just showed you is using about 3 different models, right? So there's a particular model that pulls pictures. There's a model that pulls some other data in form of text. There's a model that does another thing. There are 3 different models there. So you can actually create something that would help you to edit, to create videos, right? And then you can just come and edit. Just that you burn what we call, you burn a lot of your tokens. Videos really take a lot of tokens and all that, right? So that is that. And I think with that, if you build your own app, you can actually build it such that it's able to generate videos for you with a prompt. So you can just have a section on your app for video generation, a section um, a section for content generation in terms of text, a section for something else, right? And then once you put in your prompt, you just connect all of them and it does the job. So you have to just go there, look at the video. If you don't like it, you should be able to drop another prompt for you to re-edit it, and then you can take it out from there and then use it to do what you want to do. So I guess I've answered those 2 questions.
Yes,
I
but
think I can take
there
more now.
was
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Maxwell, for your expertise and for sharing all this information. There was a quick follow-up from Victor Diali. His question
Okay.
is, what kind of personal information is safe to load on AI? Sometimes we
Hmm.
generate staff lists, with their age, date of birth, and all that. So he's asking, what kind of personal information is safe to load on AI? Thank you.
So any information that is not critical. So I'm trying to think through right now. Um, like your information about your health, information about finances, those things are no-nos, right? Those things are no-nos, it's not a good idea to put it there. And if at all you want to do anything with that, you have to turn off the feature that uses your data to train the model. So whatever you're putting in is quite safe, right? And you see, funny enough, because they know that, so this data is pulled to understand us as a people, right? Or understand people. So the data goes somewhere, and I would always advise very sensitive information, like I said, health, finance, other things like that are critical, legal documents and stuff. It is not a great idea. If you really want to put in things, then things that are not sensitive, then you can decide to do that. Otherwise, turn off the feature that uses your data to train the model, and then you can also explore that. Better still, paid versions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maxwell. But another quick corollary question is still from
Yes.
Victor Diali. Why is it important to put information about yourself, your organization, what you're doing? What is the advantage of that? That's his question.
Okay, thank you. So when you put in information about yourself into any tool you are using, right, it has a memory of what you have been putting in. So at a point, so for example, for most of us who use, for everybody who uses all these tools, right, you would observe that, and yes, thank God this came up. So I'll just mention this real quick. You observe that when any of these tools is giving you a response, right? If you are in the agricultural space, for example, and you deal with a lot of things around agriculture, and that's what you put into the tool, right? When you're asking it for suggestions, it's going to give you things around agriculture. Who has experienced that before? You have experienced that, just type one. It will give you things around those things to talk about because it has a memory, it stores your information, right? So in that case, it's easier for you to go back to some of your previous information and then think around, I'm going to say your world, right? So it creates like a world for you. Now, in a case where you don't want, by the way, most of these tools are biased. They are designed to please you. Okay. So when you don't want it to please you, or you find out that it's giving you information about yourself, or things you have put in over time, right, activate what we call the deep thinking, right, or the web search. Once you activate deep thinking web search, it goes out of what it knows about you and then begins search the web and gives you more authentic data. Thank you very much.
All right, all right. We are moving, we are learning. And some people have been asking the names of other websites, apps, apart from Lovable. Someone has dropped
Okay.
Base 44. I don't know if you'd like to react to
Yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Base 44 is another great tool that you can actually use. There's Base 44. There are a couple of other ones. There's another one that just came out, Creator, Krater.ai. It's new.
Could
It
you
does
drop
also
that?
builds apps.
Could you
Yeah,
drop that,
KR.
this? Okay.
Yeah, let me just type that Krater, Creator.
Okay.
Once you go online, you would find it. I'm typing it right now, Creator.ai. Then there is Base 44. They are just called they're called vibe coding tools. So just once you go online, you look for
Okay.
vibe coding tools, right?
All
Vibe
right.
coding. Vibe is VIBE. Then coding, of course, the CODING. Yep.
Okay.
So vibe coding, and then you get all those information, and then you choose the one that works for your pocket and the purpose.
All
Yes.
right. I
Thank
guess
you.
Replit should be one of those then.
Yes.
Like you said.
There are a lot of them.
Okay, one of the popular ones. All right, so we have
Yes.
some more questions. What kind of, sorry, I think we've taken that. We have taken a couple of questions. I don't want to repeat them, but let me see. Emma Clark, she has a comment here. So, awesome lecture, but please note that many companies are limiting AI use. For example, in certain regulatory organizations and big four companies, employees are limited to using Copilot only. All laptops are configured to allow employees to use only Copilot, and even some of the features are disabled. What is your take on this, Maxwell? Because you said, you're preparing us for the next 5 years, and we're already having some organizations limiting the use of AI tools. What's your take?
Yeah, thank you very much. So now, for every company that wants to use AI, it's important to have what we call an AI policy, right? That clearly spells out what tools are going to be used and for what purpose the tools are going to be used for, right? And yes, some companies try to limit that most times because there's this fear, right, of data going out, and aside that, people are trying to be careful, I mean, just to be sure that sensitive data doesn't go out. Now, there's something we call the tech adoption curve. It just tells you how people adopt tech once it comes out, right? Now, most times you have like less than 8-10% of people adopting a solution once it comes out first. And that is the few people who have really taken this up and started using it. Trust me, a lot of big companies that outside the shores of Africa are living in the AI world right now. So this just me. I feel a bit sad at times when I hear that that people are limited and all that. But then it's just encouraging company owners and people to say, look, AI is not going anywhere, right? It has come to stay. So what a company needs to do is to sit down and say, okay, look, let's look at these various tools that are available. And okay, so which ones are safe to use in terms of our data being protected? And as a result of that, what plans are we going for, to ensure that we also get the best out of it? I'm very sure that a company that uses the Copilot must be on Microsoft 365 package before then and all that, it's a Microsoft thing, So I encourage company owners to adopt this, but then have an AI policy that really spells out what tools to use. You can talk to an expert, an AI expert, to advise on that, so that you are sure that you're using the right tools, but you are really maximizing these tools that are out there to get the best. Because trust me, it saves you a lot of time, trouble, energy. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Maxwell. We still have some questions. Keep your questions coming. Pashoro Babatunde has asked, can Notebook LM record and transcribe?
Okay, thank you very much. So when you upload your materials to NotebookLM, what it does for you is it converts it to a conversation, audio, and the rest of them, right? Now, there are some tools that can record and transcribe. There are AI tools that are designed for that. I'm trying to get some on top of my head right now. There are some free ones out there that you can actually use to transcribe and record. So I just advise that I think there's one called Tactic or so. Yeah, Tactic AI. It does that. It records and transcribes. But then if you want to get tools that record and transcribe, all you need to do, just go to your chat GPT, type in AI tools that record and transcribe, and you get about 5 of them. Like I said, look at the the pricing and the features, and then pick the one that works best for you. But there are a lot of tools that record and transcribe. Thank you.
Yes, so I think Fathom, Fireflies, and Co would probably
Yeah, Fireflies, yeah.
Yeah, in that particular belt. I would like to say that we're making good time. We have about 5 minutes left. If you feel strongly about anything, could you use the raise hand function so that we can ask you to unmute? Maybe you'd like to just recap or say something good to our speaker today. Or if your question is that kind of question that you want to talk about, okay, and you don't want to just drop it here, you want one-on-one talk, okay. Oluremi Tanimola is sending some claps. Thank you very much. I believe we have answered virtually all the questions. If you think your question has not been answered, can you please give me a punch through the chat room? Thank God it wouldn't get here. So a comment here, the smart digital era, my ancestors will think this is Juju. This is more than Juju, it's Jujuma. Juju Max Pro. So like I said, we are making good time. If you have any other question, let me know. While I'm waiting for that, I'll throw in a question myself. Maxwell, I was just wondering if I want to go on a learning spree to really become a pro with Agentic AI, how do I get a bit of a roadmap? What can you advise? Any low-hanging fruits like free courses that I can first take on my way to becoming a professor in Agentic AI? Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much. So, very simple. There's a component of one of the features of Claude. Claude is from Anthropic. Claude Cowork. It has a bit of agentic with it. So there's a platform called Anthropic, I think .com or .co, right? Anthropic. Just Google Anthropic and add a place where they have some free courses. Now, among those free courses, there is a course on Claude Cowork. That's a good place to start learning about agentic, and
Sorry,
you
we
get
didn't hear
some good
that.
stuff.
You said
Oh,
there's a
okay.
course on what?
There are some courses for, okay, so let me start like this. If you go to, let me try and see if I can just stop sharing my screen so that I'll just show you what the platform looks like. Is this platform where you can get free courses for, okay, so Anthropic, let me see. Good. Anthropic.skilljar.com. It's loading now. All the courses here are free. Anthropic. Fantastic. So here you have free courses on Claude. You have Claude 101, Claude Code 101, Claude Platform, Intro to. This is going to help you understand agentic. That is Intro to Claude Code Work. It's a good place to start. By the way, all the courses here are free. You can see Intro to Agent Skills, Intro to Sub Agents, right, and all those things. So this is a great place to start. And by the way, like I said, all the courses here are free of charge. It's anthropic.skilljar.com. let me drop it in the comment section so that everyone can pick it up from there. I hope that answers your question, Ma.
Yes, it does. Thank you. And I'm sure a lot of other people had that question. So finally, another question has come up. Somebody had a hand up. I'll get to her in a minute. But I was just wondering, you spoke about paid plans. Sometimes you have these offers from people saying, oh, you can share, my access. How safe is that exactly?
No.
Okay.
Don't go that route. Don't go that route. I don't subscribe.
So it's a no. All right.
No. Yeah.
It's a no. Finally, I think we have a minute. Was it Anita or somebody who raised a hand a minute ago? Please, if you raised your hand and if your question hasn't been answered, let me know. In the meantime, I'll just get ready to give you the parting shots for this session. Please, let's start filling our evaluation form. The link is in the chat room. So let me get up my slides again. Please give me a minute. Give me a minute. Good. I'll just get that up in a minute because we're going to tell you what is next in case you